about a mystery that I think every single one of us has dealt with. You go to your kitchen, you open up the refrigerator door for a snack, and bam, you get hit with this weird smell. Today, we're finally going to crack the case of the phantom fridge odor. You know this exact moment, right? You're just standing there, kind of staring into the fridge, and everything looks fine. I mean, the milk's good, those leftovers look okay. So what on earth is going on in there? And that's the thing, right? It's not that super obvious, overwhelming smell of something that has clearly gone bad. It's way more subtle than that. And honestly, way more confusing. Nope, it's not sour either. You just can't quite put your finger on what it is, which is what makes it so maddening. Yeah, that's the perfect word for it. It just smells off. Well, it turns out there's some really fascinating science behind that very specific kind of off. So first things first, we've got to completely change how we think about our refrigerators. We see this sterile, cold box, but the reality is it's more like a really, really slow-moving ecosystem, just humming with invisible activity. And this right here is probably the single biggest misconception we all have. We think the cold stops food from decaying. It doesn't. It just hits the slow motion button. Every single thing in your fridge is still breaking down, just at this microscopic, super, super slow pace. Okay, so if everything's just slowly changing in there, what are the actual culprits that are creating that smell? Let's peel back the curtain and look at the science happening behind that closed door. First up, we've got slow decay. Just imagine that every single piece of food, the apple, the cheese, the chicken, is releasing a tiny, almost undetectable puff of an odor as it breaks down. On its own, you'd never notice it, but when you get them all together, they start to add up. And this is where it gets really weird. Your fridge is a sealed box, right? So those little smells from last night's curry, the fruit in the drawer, that package of meat, they have nowhere to go. They all mix and mingle in there, creating this strange new smell cocktail that doesn't really smell like any single one of its ingredients. Now, let's add another layer: moisture. I mean, think about it. Every time you open the door, condensation forms, and the food itself releases moisture. Well, all that dampness acts like a carrier, no, more like an amplifier for all those odor molecules, making those subtle smells way more noticeable to our noses. And this might be the sneakiest part of all. The plastic interior of your fridge, it's actually porous, which means it can absorb strong odors over time. So even after you've found and thrown out whatever was causing the smell, the actual walls and shelves of the fridge can keep releasing that odor. The fridge has literally memorized the smell. Okay, so we've got the science down. Now it's time to play detective and find the physical sources of the smell. Let's line up the usual suspects. A lot of the time, the source is hiding right there in plain sight. You know, that bag of wilted spinach you forgot about in the back of the crisper drawer, the last little bit of sauce in a jar, or a tiny unnoticed leak from a package of ground beef. Because the decay is so slow, these things don't scream, "I'm rotten!" They just quietly add to the overall problem. So here's the big reveal, the crucial takeaway. That strange smell is almost never from just a single thing. It's the result of that slow decay from all your food, all of it mixed together in a sealed, moist box, and then potentially absorbed by the fridge walls themselves. It is a perfect storm of smells. But here's the good news. Now that we've actually figured out what the problem is, solving it, and even better, preventing it from coming back, is surprisingly easy. It really just comes down to a few simple habits. Seriously, use airtight containers. They trap the odors at the source. Do a quick scan for anything that's getting old before you go grocery shopping. Wipe up any spills the second they happen. And yeah, that old trick of putting a box of baking soda in there, it actually works because it absorbs all those free-floating odor molecules. So the next time you open your refrigerator, I want you to think about it a little differently. It's not just some cold, boring appliance. It has a whole secret life going on in there. And that strange smell? It's really just the sound of all those tiny, invisible changes finally getting loud enough for us to notice. In a way, it's the smell of time itself, just slowed way down and captured inside a box. Makes you wonder, what other everyday mysteries are hiding right under our noses?